I'm Lexi. I'm in the US, and today I've got the first batch of new American snacks for 2024. I've got one thing that's hot here, so I'm going to jump right into it before it gets too cold. This is a Lunchables grilled cheese sandwich, and I don't have the packaging because it wouldn't fit in my freezer with it, so I'll just stick a picture of that up here. This has cooled down a little bit. You cook it in this little box-like thing, similar to a Hot Pocket. Probably would have been better fresh out of the microwave. I would say a regular grilled cheese sandwich on the stove is far superior. This piece of bread is kind of hard. This piece of bread is kind of soggy. Cheese in the middle. There's a good amount of cheese, but it's not fully melted, and that might simply be because of time and the fact that I brought it out through a cold environment to where I film these lovely videos for you. I am going to tell you, the thing that really confuses me about these Lunchables grilled cheese sandwiches, they're not in the refrigerated section like the rest of the Lunchables. They are in the freezer section. So if they live in the freezer and you have to microwave them, doesn't that take out like most of the convenience of a Lunchable? So for the way it tastes, for the lack of traditional Lunchable convenience, I'm just going to give that a 3. It tastes okay, but just make a grilled cheese sandwich. I really don't see any kind of opportunity in my life where I would want to have one of those or find it convenient to have one of those over either a traditional grilled cheese sandwich or some other frozen entree that is just better than that. Let's do the popcorn, because if I do the cereal next, everything's going to fall over. This is Hostess Ding Dong flavored popcorn. For anyone who's not in the US, Ding Dongs are like an American snack cake. It's chocolate with a cream in the center and then covered in chocolate. They're okay. Smells chocolatey. Looks good and chocolatey. And I love popcorn. It's okay. It has a slightly burnt taste about it, but like it isn't burnt. I think it's just the way that the coating comes together with the chocolate. I probably wouldn't buy this one again either. So let's give this one a 3 also. 2024 is striking out a little bit to begin with, isn't it? Hopefully it'll get better. We'll set that down there, shall we? And I've got Twinkie popcorn. Generally, I like the chocolate snack cakes better. I'm really not a fan of Twinkies, but maybe this one will translate better to a popcorn than the Ding Dong one did. It smells sweet. Has the nice golden color. This one does not have the burned flavor. It doesn't taste overly like a Twinkie. It's just a pleasant, sweet popcorn. Nothing special, but not bad either. So, I think this one is going to get a 5. I don't know that I'd go out and buy it again, but if someone hands me a bag, I'll pick this one over the chocolate. Vanilla Spice Cheerios. I really like Cheerios, and I know I tried some lemon ones this summer that were absolutely delicious. I'm really hoping that these vanilla spice ones are going to be just as good. They don't have a lot of smell to them, not even like the oaty Cheerio smell, so I'm not sure what that's about. Try them dry. I actually generally prefer to eat Cheerios dry over than with milk. It's a very light flavor. They're not particularly sweet. And they're not particularly vanilla-y either. There's a light spice, maybe some cinnamon and nutmeg. The pumpkin spice Cheerios, which I don't think I tried on the channel. I think I had those on my own before I started filming. The pumpkin spice Cheerios have a much more impactful flavor profile. These aren't objectionable, but they're not something I'm going to run out and get again. I actually think I prefer the regular ones. So, we got to try them with milk before we give them a final rating, don't we? So I've got some milk there. We'll just put a handful in. A few more because we got to try them after they're soggy too. Doesn't look like I brought a spoon. So let's improvise, shall we? Again, there's not a lot of flavor. They just get lost in the milk. We'll give those a minute to get soggy and see how they hold up, but I don't see myself being more impressed. While we're waiting on that, you know what? Let's do this. I know that at least most of this box isn't new, but in looking at Christmas candy, I had a question, and maybe some of you can answer this for me. I know these are the OG. And then there's a dark chocolate one out there, and this white chocolate one. Now, believe it or not, I don't like regular Ferrero Rochers. I'm not a giant hazelnut fan. And as much as I usually don't like white chocolate, I like these a lot. The Raffaello. It's a white chocolate with coconut, if anyone hasn't tried them. But these cappuccino ones and these mandarly ones, when did those exist? So after Christmas, I found this box on clearance because I had to try these. And I figured if I'm going to try them, let's try them with all of you. But are those new, or have I just been, like, blind? Frankly, either is possible. This box would make a lovely gift if you're looking for something like that. Okay, let's try the Manderleys first. That would be this one with the silver wrapper. I think they've changed the way these are wrapped since the last time I ate them. It's not something I get real often, even though I do like the Raffaellos. Okay, so I think this has almonds on it. The top's kind of pretty with a little zigzag there. It's got an almond inside of it, your basic wafer covered in chocolate with almonds on the outside too. This one tastes a little more praline than the Raffaello. It's okay. It's not my favorite. If I got a box with them in it, I wouldn't avoid them. But I wouldn't go buying a box of just them. So, a 5. And the cappuccino. I like coffee, so I'm hoping this one will be good. Didn't these used to be easier to open? There we go. It's got little crispy bits around the outside that are trying to fall off and go everywhere. I don't think they're nuts. I'm not sure what they actually are. There was something not as hard as a nut, but with more texture to it in the middle. It was very coffee-y. I don't think it was a coffee bean. It didn't have that texture. It felt more like a piece of extremely coffee-infused chocolate. That's what the inside looks like. It follows the basic construction pattern. This has a lovely coffee flavor. A little bit bitter. A little bit sweet. Just like the perfect cup of coffee. I think I might give that an 8. Just because there's not a lot of coffee flavored candy or chocolate kind of thing out there. So there's a novelty aspect to it. For argument's sake, let's try one of the white ones and see how it holds up to that coffee one. Yeah, they have definitely changed these wrappers since the last time I bought these. Okay. Coconut, white, coconut, white chocolate, just like I'm used to. That one's good. But it's kind of a single note, where the coffee one, or cappuccino, has a lot more complexity to it. I like that one better. So yeah, what did I say? The coffee one gets an 8, where the coconut one sits about a 7, and the regular Ferrero Rochers sit down maybe about a 3 for me. I'm really just not a fan of those. And, you know, I'm not sure I've ever had the dark chocolate ones. Maybe I should try that. But let's take a drink of the Cheerio cereal. Yeah. Not impressed by this one. It definitely doesn't gain anything by being soggy. There are very much better Cheerio flavors out there. So we've got 2 things left. The Reese's Caramel Big Cups. Reese's has been doing a bunch of these big cups with different fillings in them over the last couple years. But caramel's got some real potential. It looks like the caramel's on the bottom, which I'm a tad concerned about, because you know how you peel off paper and the chocolate comes off the bottom of the Reese's about half the time or more? How'd they fix that to keep the caramel from gooing out? I don't know. It's intact. Let's go with it. Don't ask too many questions, right? Pretty much like you'd expect it. Chocolate, Reese's peanut butter, caramel. Unfortunately, the caramel kind of gets lost a little bit in the peanut butter. That could have really been a lot better than it was. And it's the super liquidy, well, I guess not super liquidy, but definitely it's a soft caramel. I think maybe if it was a thicker layer, like half the cup of a chewier caramel, it could be better. But I'm going to give that one a 5. It's good. Somebody puts it in front of me, I'll happily eat it. I'm not going to turn my nose up at a peanut butter cup of pretty much any kind. Not going to seek that one out specifically. The regular ones are just as good when I want a peanut butter cup. So this is my last thing. And I'm enthusiastic about this. Kit Kat chocolate donut. And Kit Kat has had some real wins with some of their specialty flavors lately. Their churro one a bit ago was quite good. And chocolate donut, this just feels like it could lend itself real nicely. This is a king size bar. I'm sure they're available in the smaller size. This is just what I found. So it's got 8 fingers in it, in 2, and then it goes everywhere, in 2 sections. There we go. We've got regular chocolate on the top, color that's supposed to represent donuts on the bottom. It doesn't smell the way I would associate a donut to taste, but then most of what I associate a donut with is yeast, and if they could get a yeast smell into chocolate, I'd be pretty impressed. Let's see. Not particularly donut-y. Oh, there it is. The donut flavor is on the very end. Before that, it just tastes kind of sweet with that chocolate flavor that's chocolatey but not chocolatey that you get from eating a donut with some chocolate frosting on it. You know what I mean, right? But the real donut flavor is kind of right at the end. Not quite an aftertaste, but it's so subtle that the sweetness overwhelms it. That being said, this has something going for it. So I think I will give this one a 6. And that makes the cappuccino things by Ferrero the best in the assortment for the day. I will never tire of doing these American snack videos, even if a lot of it is just kind of so-so. I love trying new stuff. If you don't try new stuff, how do you know that you didn't miss something amazing? I don't like Ferrero Rochers, but those cappuccino ones, really good. I'm going to look on Amazon and see if you can get a box of just those. I hope you can. But that's all I have for today. If you enjoyed this video, if you could give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye.